This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here are today's top stories from Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region. Armenia has called on the United Nations' most powerful body to hold talks on Azerbaijan's blockade of Nagorno-Karabakh, which stretched past the 8-month mark over the weekend. Last Friday, Armenia's UN ambassador formally requested the Security Council to convene an emergency meeting on the blockade, which has pushed Nagorno-Karabakh's roughly 120,000 Armenians to the brink of famine. The people of Nagorno-Karabakh are on the verge of a full-fledged humanitarian crisis, Permanent Representative Meher Margaryan wrote in a letter to the Council President, according to Armenia's Foreign Ministry. It was not immediately clear if or when the 15-member Security Council, the only UN body with the power to issue legally binding resolutions, would hold such a meeting. The Security Council has met just once to discuss the matter about a week after the blockade began last December. The Council failed to issue a joint statement at that time, reportedly amid diplomatic infighting between permanent members France and Russia. In February, a UN court ordered Azerbaijan to ensure unimpeded movement between Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia, but the International Court of Justice has no enforcement powers to back up its rulings. In related news, the International Criminal Court's former chief prosecutor has said the blockade should be considered an act of genocide and called on the Security Council to refer the issue to the tribunal. There is a reasonable basis to believe that a genocide is being committed against Armenians living in Nagorno-Karabakh, Luis Moreno Ocampo wrote last week in a widely publicized report. Starvation is the invisible genocide weapon, he added. You can check out CivilNet's interview with Ocampo about his findings up now on our website and YouTube channel. At least 11 people have been killed and 9 others injured in a traffic collision in Armenia's northwestern Shirak region. Just after midnight yesterday, a minibus collided with a truck near the village of Lanjik, according to the country's interior ministry. The minibus was taking Armenian tourists who had visited historical Armenian sites in Turkey back to Yerevan. 6 of the injured have been hospitalized, with 5 of them in critical condition with life-threatening injuries, according to staff at the nearby Gyumri Medical Center. The issue of road safety is among the priorities on the government's agenda, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said in response to the news of the crash. Roads and highways serve as Armenia's main transport network, with rail and other alternatives left underdeveloped in part due to the country's difficult mountainous terrain. Armenia's investigative committee has opened a criminal probe into the crash. In other news, hundreds of people gathered late last week in the town of Sisian in Armenia's southernmost Syunik region to take part in this year's Navasard Armenian Iranian Cultural-Culinary Festival. The event, organized jointly by Armenia's Tourism Committee and Iran's embassy in Yerevan, featured traditional Armenian and Iranian food, song, and dance. Iran is one of Armenia's top 3 contributors of tourists, according to Tourism Committee data. Last year, Iran became the first country to open a permanent diplomatic mission in the strategically important Syunik region. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 4,380. That's the total number of car crashes recorded by Armenia's Statistical Committee last year, leaving more than 320 people dead and 6,100 injured. Those are relatively high figures for a country of fewer than 3 million people. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground in Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region.